Hey, it's your pal Filthy. We are back once again on the farm. We've got a lot of stuff to get done today, including planting our big field we turned into 4 fields in the last episode. If that's what you're looking for, stay tuned. Alright, here we are back on the farm. It's still March. We're going to get some planting done today and then advance to a new month. But yeah, I wanted to start with planting the big fields because that's probably going to be the most time consuming. And if you saw the last episode, you saw that I converted the one big field into 4 smaller fields. The idea being it was just getting way too time consuming in real life to be dealing with one giant field. And further to that point, I want to plant 4 different crop types and kind of stagger their growth. I've already done some research. We're going to be putting in oats, soybeans, wheat, and barley, and all of those will grow at different rates. All of those will be ready to harvest at different times, so it kind of creates a situation where we should be able to harvest every couple episodes a new crop, a new product, and then it should make it a bit more, or rather it should make it a bit easier to be having more variation in what we're doing, and that we're not waiting as long to harvest things. We can just kind of always have a crop ready to harvest kind of deal, and that's the idea. And yeah, we're going to start in this corner here with the wheat because it's already selected, and that seems just kind of really fitting. And then yeah, basically my game plan for today is I will get all of these fields planted, and then depending on the timing, we can probably pick up a contract or two and get some of that done, and we'll kind of go from there. But for now, we're just going to get planting on this field. Thanks. I want to stop there, basically, because if I go any further, then I'm going to be planting in the next field, and that's really what we're trying to avoid. Is I want 4 different crop types, not the same crops in the different sections, and yeah, that's kind of the thought process. We'll keep this rolling. And another thing I wanted to bring up while I'm dealing with this is I am just using the planter like right onto the field. That is because I have what's called a direct planter, where you don't have to cultivate the fields ahead of time. You can literally just go ahead and plant. If you're picking up this game, if you're playing it, keep in mind that the starter planters, you have to cultivate the field first before planting, and then you'll also have to add a layer of fertilization because again, this planter that I have also has a fertilizer tank on it. So that's why I bought this when I did, because it's a good machine to get right out of the gate, in that you can fertilize right away. You can get the ball rolling right away, as opposed to having to cultivate first and then start planting. And at the end of the day, you can still cultivate first if you really want to. Basically, all that changes in this scenario is the textures change, and that it's like it looks like a fresh field as you're going to plant, as opposed to planting over top of the remnants of wheat here. But regardless, it's kind of however you want to play. I don't think it makes much of a difference. I don't think that you're gonna like hurt your yield or anything if you're planting on top of the remnants of the old crop or what have you. But I do know that when you first start a game, it kind of suggests that that's how you should be doing it, is by cultivating the field first and then planting. I believe the idea is that you're like turning up the dirt again and making it ready for a new crop. But regardless, this is what we're doing right now, and already you can tell that this is going to be a much nicer process, since I'm two full laps done at this point, and oh, I missed a little little line there that'll have to get rearranged. Yeah, I've done 2 full laps at this point, and it's already a decent amount of this field taken care of. We'll make sure the planter is beyond the... See, this is what I wanted to avoid. That little bit right there will now grow as wheat. So we'll have to be cognizant of that as we're going through. We'll have to replant that when we go to do that field and change it to the correct crop. Otherwise, we're just going to get back into a time lapse here, and I'll see you on the other side. And like that, we are coming down to the final stretch of the wheat portion of our fields. Before I move on to the next field, I'm just going to go ahead and go buy some seed and fill the fertilizer as well. I don't really want to start a field and then have to stop partway through because we've ran out of seed or fertilizer, so that's kind of the thought process there. Thankfully, though, when we were running the fertilizer sprayer a couple episodes back, we bought more than we needed, and this was exactly the reasoning. We knew that eventually the fertilizer would be needed. We do still need to go get some seeds, but yeah, we'll park the tractor and the seeder or planter, excuse me, close to where the fertilizer is. Then we'll go get some seeds and kind of check both of those boxes at the same time. That seems like a bad idea there, Phil. Yep, we'll just let this happen. It's fine. Why the dickens can I not fill this up? We'll see if I drop it there. Will it let me? Like, I'm not sure why it's not letting me fill this up. Because this sprayer takes solid fertilizer, not liquid fertilizer. That would explain it. Okay, well, in that case, we'll just put this IBC back in the shed here that we built a couple episodes ago. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Anyway, in that case, we'll get going down to the store, and we'll get things purchased, and then we'll come back here with the truck and get everything filled up. Before we get purchasing anything, I just want it known that I find it frustrating that you can't sell items. Like, I don't need this at all, but I also can't lift it without a forklift or anything, so it's like, it would be cool if I could just, you know, open the construction menu, which is this one here, and, like, just sell that. Like, it's completely untouched. I don't need it. I wish that was a thing, but that's neither here nor there. Now we're going to head into the store, and we are going to get... No, we don't need... actually, yes, we do need solid fertilizer. I'm outsmarting myself at this point, at this rate. And again, we're using the liftable pallets and big bags mod. The idea being that it's just easier to handle at this rate. I don't really want to buy a forklift just to be able to do very menial tasks, very nothing tasks, so that's why we're doing it this way. And because I'm in the big bags page. Okay, and then the other thing we need is seeds. So, again, looking through the menu, we'll find the... and we'll get 2 bags of these. And then we will buy. I doubt I'm going to fit all of this on the truck, but we'll find out in a second, I suppose. Here we go. We will start with the bag 1. And push it all the way back. Excuse me, sir. You move over here. I'm not sure why I started talking like some kind of cross between a German and a Frenchman, but perhaps that's because it's in my blood. Regardless, it explains why no one likes me. Okay, you're supposed to be liftable pallets and bags, and I can't do either of that. Alright, we'll jerry-rig this in here. That's probably less than ideal that I've positioned it this way, but you know, we're just trying to get stuff done at this point, and it's just going back to the farm anyway, so it should be fine. We'll at least attempt to fix this one, and then yeah, there you go, just one more bag, and like that we can fit it all. Hell, we can probably fit a couple more, but we're not going to do that because that would be unnecessary. We'll get all of this taken back to the farm, and we'll go from there. Get the straps on. Not a strap on, that would be inappropriate. Back at Filthy Farms once again. We're just going to get things filled up, and hopefully I bought the right things. Based on the little icons there in the bottom right corner, I think that we have the right things, but we'll find out momentarily if I've screwed up royally. We're not going to drive right up because I don't want it to be pulling seeds from... Why did it zoom in so into... What is happening with that camera? Curly, straight. Curly, straight. Anyway, ADD moment aside, let's get the truck turned... Oh, right, I need the truck on to lower the tailgate. It's some kind of mechanical feat of stupid. And we'll grab the bag, thank you. You're being a little problematic. Oh, see, there you go. You can tell that it's doing what we want it to because the top of it here opened up. So that's a good sign already. And then we just go ahead and turn the engine on and click the fill button. Not P-H-I-L, but F-I-L-L. And wow, that barely gave us any with the entire bag. That's concerning. We're probably gonna have to get 2 or 3 more bags just to finish today, in theory. Granted, it doesn't use a whole lot of fertilizer through this process, but it's still, like, I would like to have it completely filled up. But we'll see what happens, because, again, that's 1,000 liters a bag, and it's only at 80%, so that's not ideal. But we'll make it work. I'm hoping that the seed bags will spread a little bit further, and because like it's not cheap, these things. You know, I spent about $1,800 per one of these bags, and it's not even filling the planter. Granted, part of that is my fault in that the planter I bought is much bigger than this operation needs at the moment, but we'll get it figured out in any event. It's not a big deal. It's in fact very much a first world problem that, oh, my planter is too big, and I keep hitting circle to try and get out, which as you see leads to that AI worker thing. Basically on PlayStation, the AI worker button is circle, and what that will do is it allows, like, you just hit circle and an AI worker will automatically take over whatever it is you need them to do. We're just going to fold this up because I'll be cutting around some stuff and I don't want it to run into anything, and we'll okay. Yeah, so I'm going to bring up the menu because I want to make sure that I am buying the right thing. We'll head into this menu here, or not even buying, but so we wanted barley as the next one, and okay, we'll get turned around, and I was thinking that I'm gonna do the 2 crops that take longer, kind of opposite corners of each other, just for no other reason than just to diversify what we're doing. And the other thing, I talked about it before we went to the store, but I'm going to try and do things a bit differently in that I'm going to go around the edges closest to the track first in hopes that what happened... Oh, I'll just jump over here in hopes that I don't plant over my field like I did in these couple spots. That's frustrating. And off we go. Yeah, and again, the idea with this is I want to make sure that as I'm getting to the other fields, I'm reducing the risk of planting in the other fields like I have with that first one that I planted. We'll go about there, and then we'll spin around, and then we will go down the this side, and then from there we'll do a bit of a time lapse, and probably just like the first field there, we'll do a time lapse for a little bit, and then I'll just cut out the rest of the planting of the field, because again, I try and be cognizant of how boring this can be to just watch me do the exact same thing for an entire 25-minute video. So I try and make it a little bit more diverse. I try and switch things up. That's why on occasion you'll see me even change the camera angle and stuff during time lapses, because I want to make sure that it's engaging. I want to make sure that it's entertaining, because I mean, if you want to use my videos to go to sleep, by all means, but that's really not my intention. I'm not trying to put people to sleep. I'm trying to entertain people in the same way that farm sim videos have entertained me for a couple years now. Okay, so at this point we'll get into the time lapse and drive into the neighbor's field. Haha, sucker. And then yeah, I'll do a couple laps, and then just kind of bring you back in as we're finishing up the field, just like that first one there. How's that for the shortest time lapse of all time? No, I wanted to jump back in because I don't know if you saw it back there, but I oversteered a little bit, and it led to not going right up against the edge of the field, and that's going to drive me crazy when it comes time to plant. So we'll probably fix that after the fact. And the reason, okay, we're coming to the end of the field here. We've only got one more full pass, and then just doing a bit of patchwork, so to speak. But I also wanted to bring you back in to show you something that I thought was kind of interesting. We'll get to it in just a moment. It's at the other end of the field, and I don't want to ruin the surprise. Don't get your hopes up. It's nothing crazy. It's something that I thought was interesting, and perhaps you will find it interesting as well. And one more pass should do it. We'll just bring this up so we're not planting into the other field, a concept that we've been talking about ad nauseum with this planting process. And there we go, we'll finish that up. What I wanted to show you was this right, where did it go? This right here. I planted this somehow. I was driving in the neighbor's field, and somehow this registered that I was planting, so it took out just a little notch of their crop and made it mine, which is fine. But when you contrast it with, I couldn't paint the grass here right next to my field, it's things like that that have frustrated me about this game, is that somehow this is beyond our property line, but this all the way over here, where did it go? There it is. But this is not. It doesn't make any sense to me. Either it's part of my property or it isn't. Why is that a thing? It doesn't matter. I've like I said in the offset, I found that kind of interesting. I found that weird that it's put me in that position that it's like, oh yeah, you can't finish making your gravel path. That's a no-no. But by all means, take out a chunk of your neighbor's field. If I've done the math right, every couple episodes we should have new crops to harvest. I found a forum on the Giants website. Giants is the company that makes this game, and one post said that wheat takes 10 months, barley takes 8, and then I'm going to be planting something that takes 6 months in this field and 4 months in the last field. And the idea is that obviously we'll have to wait a little bit since 4 months is, well, 4 months away, but I'm going to make a point of skipping ahead a month at the end of every episode now, just so we can make sure. And then if we've done this right, every 2 months or every 2 episodes, I should have something to harvest, and that will make for just more diversity in what we're doing, more action in what we're doing, a bit more progression. To be completely frank, I feel like we've made good progress, but we can certainly make better progress, and like that we'll get going. And you know what? At the end of the day, we should be able to finish these fields with the fertilizer and everything that we have. So that's certainly a good sign. I feel like the last field will be a little dicey, not nearly as dicey as driving into a tree and crashing your tractor. Okay, I can't cut that down, so that's a bit of a problem, but what we will do is drive through here, hopefully not breaking everything. And it's unfortunate that I had to do that, but you know, sometimes them's the breaks. We're in a position right now that we don't really have a lot of room to spare, so sometimes you just have to do stuff like that. And just like last time, what we're going to do is go down along the track just to make sure that we're not planting into the next field, because it happened again on this field for a second there. Just an itty little bit, but that's fine. We'll be planting over that again, and then before we even finish the planting process in its entirety, we'll go around and fix some of the spots there. Okay, we'll get this lined up, turn on the planter again, lower it down, and off we go. You can tell it's been a long day when I started planting without even recording. I said I was going to bring you back in with the last field, and I went ahead and started working anyway. Regardless, this is the last field. We are planting oats, and then I think once we get done with this, all we're going to do is get the planter cleaned up and put away, and then from there we'll probably say goodbye. And you know, it's been another good episode, and if you've reached this point, I'm going to do my usual spiel, my usual speech. Thank you for joining me each and every episode. It's, again, I know it goes without saying that it's appreciated, but I need it known that any of you watching up to this point, I appreciate your time, and even if you haven't made it to this point, perhaps through osmosis, through some power greater than me, you feel the appreciation. So thank you for that. It's been I'd be lying if I said doing this video series hasn't been a bit of a cathartic break for me, in that I deal with stress on day to day through work, through my partner and I are getting ready for a wedding later this year, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of outside forces kind of pushing me towards stress, towards depression, and what have you. And to be completely frank, doing these videos every week, doing this content every week has given me an outlet to forget about all those things and just focus on this virtual farm, and it's been a bit of a godsend in that I feel relaxed when I'm doing this. It's not stressful. It's just having fun, and I appreciate that anyone that joins me on that journey towards just having fun, just enjoying the day, and so on and so forth. So thank you again. And just one little pass left, and then we are good to go. I'm going to close things out by cleaning off the planter and then getting the tractor and the planter put away. Again, if I've timed things out right, which I hope I have, let's just get this folded up. If I have timed things out right, then we should have this field to harvest, then this one, and finally that one. And just based on looking at the map, it looks like I fixed any crossover issues we might have had, and yeah, it was a pretty good one. Again, the idea is that I don't want to be doing one. I much rather be doing several small harvests at a time, and then as opposed to one big harvest, because it makes it just a little bit easier to manage. And in terms of content creation, I think that this is a better way to do it, to make sure that, you know, we're not getting stale, that there's always something new on the horizon. We'll get this put in front of the power washer here. At some point, the next time I do renovations, I think I'm gonna add a path that kind of juts off here and then follows it around into the shed here, but I don't really want to do that right now, because again, I'm not sure what's going to happen. Like, I intend to have at least one more shed for vehicles and what have you, so I don't really want to dedicate or put like a trail there, a path there, and then have it be saved over with another shed. Okay, so that's the tractor clean, and we're also gonna go put the truck away as well. I realized I left that over at the field, and then I think the next episode we're gonna take out a loan and then go on a bit of a shopping spree, because you know, there's things that I want to buy, there's things that I want to get done, and it's just becoming increasingly challenging. Apparently I can climb a tractor willy-nilly. Oh, wow. I didn't realize that I had that ability. No. See, I hit the AI worker button again, so it started trying to unfold the planter, getting ready to plant for no reason at all. But again, that's it's because the AI worker button is just a generic start task button. Whatever you have equipped is what it thinks you're wanting it to do. So that's why every time I hit circle while using this while using the planter, that's why that comes out the way that it does. We'll try and drive a bit nice. Oh, wow, that, apparently it doesn't have to be impossible to park things. I also wanted to make it known, take a look, I just detached there, also wanted to make a note. Look at the percentage of seeds that we have left. 9% and 23% fertilizer. So we were cutting it kind of close, but that's another reason that I want to go on a bit of a shopping spree tomorrow, is I'd like to fill this shed a little bit with seeds, with fertilizer, with liquid fertilizer, and kind of get a bunch of that stuff bought. That way the next time we go to plant and what have you, it's good to go. And also I really want to invest in a forage wagon to be able to do this at the drop of a hat, because as it is now, I'm gonna have to lease a forage wagon, so I'd rather take out a loan and just buy one, and then the profits I'm making from the grass field can be transferred to paying back the loan, and so on and so forth. And that's kind of the thought process behind the next episode being a bit of a shopping spree. And as we've started doing regularly now, we're going to back the tractor in, hopefully not hitting anything, and also hopefully not embarrassing ourselves. Not the greatest driver in real life, certainly not the greatest driver in virtual driving. Get the tractor turned off, close the door, and then we'll hop in the truck, which is just over here. Get it cleaned up a little bit, and I might also end up buying a trailer, because I'd like to be able to buy more than like 2 or 3 bags of stuff at a time. And right now, like, obviously we made it work today. We had 4 bags in the back of it, but I'd like to be able to get like 6 and 10 and that kind of thing as we expand, and that just won't happen with just using the bed of the truck here. So again, thank you for joining me. It's been a good one, and I'll see you around.